TitleMatchNetwork.com.
How'd you get a job with WWE? How'd that come about?
Pretty much by accident. I was at my 9-to-5 factory job at a place called Bags Unlimited in downtown Rochester, right around the corner from the arena. But I was just working my day job, and my buddy Brody Lee called me up because he was an extra backstage and said, listen, how fast can you get down to the Blue Cross Arena? I knew WWE was in town. I was like, as fast as you need me to get down to the Blue Cross Arena. He's like, all right, get down here soon and you can wrestle Shelton Benjamin in ECW. I ran out of my job without telling them. I just left. I just went and got in my car, broke many traffic laws, got to the building with just an old pair of shooter boots and a pair of knee pads in my car. Didn't even have my gear. I had someone get it for me later, but I was just like, I have what I have. I was in work boots, a pair of baggy jeans, like a Detroit Red Wings jersey, looking like a total schlub. Just walked in there. Jamie Noble grabbed me. He's like, you're perfect. He shows the writers, shows the guys, this is the guy, they're like, okay. So, you know.
Was this your first time ever backstage at
Yeah, I wasn't even supposed to be there. It was just,
right.
All the extras they had back there were like 6'5", huge, jacked up guys, and they needed a guy for Shelton Benjamin to kind of throw around and manhandle a little bit. So they needed kind of a smaller guy. And they didn't have any. And actually, my Brody Lee called my partner Jimmy Olsen first, who did not pick up his phone, as the story goes. Wow. Which didn't really cause problems. People made more problems out of it than there actually were. But yeah, I went in there, Jamie Noble told everybody he found me on the street, which looked pretty true, because I did look like I just came off the street with a pair of volleyball knee pads that I use for training and an old pair of wrestling shoes. And it went amazingly well. I did the thing with Taz in the ring, and they said I really looked scared, which is true because I was scared out of my mind. I was, I'm used to wrestling in front of a couple hundred people, but I was wrestling in front of thousands of people in my hometown. And against Shelton Benjamin, who's an amazing wrestler, a world-class athlete. So we did this match, and apparently while the match is going on, I heard this later, Vince McMahon is in the back watching this match going, that's how you sell! That's how you sell! That's how you bump! So that was very flattering, and I got to the back through the curtain, and everybody, there was a standing ovation up in Gorilla from, everybody's congratulating me, telling me what a great job I did. Vince McMahon stood up, shook my hand. I was like, this is crazy. I just went out there and got beat up. Right.
It
was an easy day's work, and I got out of the tunnel, and Johnny Ace was waiting there for me. He said, great job. We want to bring you back next week. I was blown away.
Where was next week at?
North Carolina.
Okay.
I think it was somewhere in North Carolina. And when they told me they wanted to bring me back, I was like, I'm driving to North Carolina. But they're like, we got a flight for you. We got a rental car. We got hotels. I was like, are you kidding me? Really?
You thought it was a road probably.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. I was speechless.
You also got to work with Big Daddy V.
Yep. He was people were like, man, he crushed you. He was so easy to work with. No problems at all, no complaints at all. He stood on my back at one point, and you wouldn't have even known he was there.
Took care of you.
Took care of me really well and gave me some really great advice. So,
That was my next question. Did anyone ever take you under their wing up there?
It's surprising. Everybody was really, really cool and very supportive and always trying to help, I can't think of anybody who really just, shooed me to the side and was like, whatever, kid. Everybody was really helpful.
What was Vince like towards you?
He was really, really cool, actually. Intimidating because he's Vince McMahon, but other than that, he was really cool to me. He took me into his office a couple times, told me kind of what he wanted with the character and what he wanted me to do and how some of my mannerisms should be and just some critique he had. And I can remember doing backstage skits where we'd be, some pre-tapes where we'd be doing them over and over again. And Vince would come in and he'd watch it and he wouldn't like it. And he would like deliver the line for me, how he would like it. And I just think that's the coolest thing ever, that Vince McMahon is delivering your line for you.
Huh. Now, did anyone ever like say to you, "Oh, you're kind of doing like the Mikey Whipwreck role in ECW"? Did you?
I heard that a lot, and I mean, it was pretty true. It was, I guess, I don't know if they knew it when they did it,
Right?
But that's what it came off as. I mean,
did you watch that stuff back in the day?
Oh yeah, I was a big Mikey Whipwreck fan back in the day, and even as he progressed into like Mikey and Tajiri days, I was a big Mikey and Tajiri fan. But no, I was flattered to be compared to Mikey Whipwreck. I don't really like comparisons anyways.
Yeah.
I think, I wasn't trying to be the next Mikey Whipwreck. I was trying to be the first Colin Delaney, wasn't trying to follow in his footsteps,
Right. What about Mark Henry? You got to work a little bit with Mark?
Yeah, I got to work a lot with Mark, actually, because I wrestled Mark 2 or 3 times. I managed Mark. I did all sorts of backstage stuff with him. He's a really cool guy, and he always gave me good advice because he's been with the company for an amazing amount of years, and he was always really helpful. I remember he would always tell me that his wife would yell at him and tell him to stop picking on that boy because he kind of threw me around a little bit.
You also got to work with Kane and Great Khali.
Yeah, Kane was really fun. Dean Malenko came up with a spot where he chokeslammed me picked me up off the ground from my back up and then back down, which I thought was really cool and really fun. Another thing is when I was laying on the mat selling and he does the thing with the pyros, they're like, close your mouth, close your eyes, do not breathe until I tell you it's okay. I was like, wow. Well, okay. Apparently it would burn me in all sorts of ways that I didn't want. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but the Great Khali, that was probably the most painful experience of my life.
Stiff or just...
Oh my God. He doesn't, he can't know his own strength. I don't know if he knows, but man. I was just standing stationary and he hit me with that overhand chop. Out. It felt like someone dropped a brick from the ceiling. It was... I just saw black and stars and just ate it. And I was on the ground thinking... I know he's supposed to pick me up for this bomb, and I don't know where I am.
Right.
I can't see. All I see are stars. And then pretty much picked up my lifeless body, picked it up 9 feet in the air, and dropped me down. Yeah, I was knocked loopy. He's an amazingly strong, large man.
Did you get it back together when you went in the back, or?
What's that?
Did you get it back together when you were in the back?
Yeah. I mean, I shook it off. By the finish, I was laying on the mat. I was like, whew. Let's not do that again.
And then your big program, your very first one, I believe, was with Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
What was it like working with those guys?
They're really fun to work with. I liked working with them. I worked them in a handicap match first.
Right.
Which is the same night I got offered my contract. That's, I went through, I think it was my 6th time there. Because they just kept calling me every week and saying, hey, we want you to come back again. Every week after week. And then finally, I had lost my job at the factory because, I was
going on the road
all the time. And I could only work 2 days a week. And they weren't really looking for that. So I had to leave the job. And I was like, man, if I don't pick up a permanent gig here, I'm going to be in trouble because if they just drop me after this, I need to go job hunting. This is going to be terrible. But luckily I got the contract that night after I did the thing with Miz and Morrison. But working with Miz and Morrison was really fun. I thought those guys were really innovative, and I still think they're a really good tag team. I saw them wrestle. They just wrestled on Monday Night Raw against DX, and I thought they hung in there amazingly well.
Definitely. What are they like outside the ring?
The Miz is exactly what you would think the Miz is like. I'm sure that makes sense to everybody. Yeah. The Miz is the Miz. You don't, I've seen him go out to bars and he's just like, I'm gonna go pick up that girl. He's exactly what you would think the Miz is like. But John Morrison is, he's one of the coolest guys I met there. He was nice to me from the very start, which is what I really liked. Like when I was just nobody, when I first came in the first time, he's, talked to me and just shot the shit with me for a little while. And I still keep in contact with him to this day.
What about Tommy Dreamer? He was involved in the angle. He came out and saved you.
Yeah, and Tommy was so influential in my WWE stay the whole time, from backstage things like locker room etiquette and stuff, and just ways to go about myself backstage, to how to do pre-tapes, to how to deal with management, to how to wrestle their style. Tommy just helped me every step of the way.
What are some of the things he told you?
When I first did get my contract, because I was going to the extras locker room every time, because there's the extras locker room and then there's the actual male talent locker room. He told me to ask permission before I come in the locker room, which is, probably a really smart thing to do. I just stayed in the extras locker room. Even after I got my contract, I was like, I'm not going in there.
Huh.
But Tommy was like, ask permission and you'll be fine. And he would, tell me, like, if someone was giving me critique, how to, respond to them in the best possible way. And, he was so helpful with everything. And me and him still talk back and forth every now and again. He still helps me out to this day.
Did you like the program with those guys?
I did. I had a lot of fun. It built to... I actually have a win over Miz and Morrison. Tommy may have gotten the pin, but I hold a victory over Miz and Morrison, and I will take that to my grave. No matter how good they get, no matter what they do, I have a win over you, Miz and Morrison. Just remember that. Colin Delaney holds a win over you guys. But we built to a really cool street fight in Chicago. We did it, and I had a lot of fun. I got my nose busted open. Morrison did a moonsault with a garbage can on me on the outside, which he was like, I'll just grab like a road sign or something, or like a chair, and I'll moonsault with it. And then he goes up and he's holding a full garbage can. I was like, are you kidding me? Caught me in the bridge of the nose, but it was all right, and that was the only injury I took away from it. It was a real fun match. One of my favorites while I was there.
You also got to work with Estrada. They did the whole gimmick with you in the contract.
Yeah. And it's funny. Estrada ribbed me from day one, acting like he didn't like me. Like from the first, I think the first week they invited me back, he was ribbing me and acting like he was mad at me for something, and I didn't know, because I was just being very cautious of everything and everybody.
Right.
But then it turns out that me and him got to work the program together, and I just thought that was always funny. But he's really good with his facials and with his acting. When we started wrestling, though, those were his first WWE matches, and probably his first matches in a while. But the guy's physique is unbelievable. Like when he first took off that shirt and people saw him without the all the stuff on, everybody was amazed.
Right.
He's more ripped than half the roster.
Was there anyone in the back that you were kind of scared to hang around? Like you said, you were kind of nervous going to the locker room.
I did a Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania, and I got there, and CM Punk was there too, and we were both on ECW, so I was like, oh, maybe me and Punk are doing something together. And I was like, oh, what am I doing tonight? They're like, you're wrestling JBL. I was like, what? Really? Is that a rib? They're like, no, you're wrestling JBL. I was like, wow. All right. So, yeah. I've heard stories. I've heard tales of him just...
taking liberties?
Beating people up. Not really taking liberties, but just being, like you would think he is. Just, pounding people. So I was scared. Needless to say, scared. And all day he was doing like interviews with Fox News and stuff, so we didn't really get a chance to talk. And we're about to go out. I'm at the curtain. Our segment's up next. He's got to go in the limo, so we haven't really talked all day. At all. And I was like, oh, this is going to be death. This is it for me. I'm not making it out of this alive. And he comes up to me right before we go out. He's like, in the beginning, punch me. I'll block your second. Finishes the clothesline. I was like, I was like, this is going to be awful. So I was scared out of my mind. And I get in there, and I hold off and I hit him because, you got to take the shots you're going to get. I didn't get many shots, but when I got a shot in, you got to make it count. I'm not saying that I was, railing guys, but I was, putting it in there like they would put it in there on me. And after that, he blocked mine, smacked me, and just took over. But it was like the easiest. He was so safe with me, took awesome care of me. And we got to the back. He's like, oh man, are you all right? He's like, thank you. I was like, I was scared out of my mind, but thank you.
Huh. Mike Knox, working with Mike.
I really like working with Mike, and I think Mike is way better than they give him credit for. Way better than he's been pushed to be. He bumps and he feeds and he sells so great for a big man. I love to watch him personally, and he's the nicest guy on the planet. He may look like a serial killer, but he's so nice. He was always so careful with me, and would always apologize repeatedly after we wrestled, because the first time I took his move there, I took it really awkwardly in London, England, no less, and I messed my back up pretty good. But it was just because I took it like an idiot. I just took the move like an asshole, and like I tend to do with most moves, just take them. And we got to the back, and he was just so apologetic and felt so bad about like everything. He's like, "Did I hit you too hard? Did I do this?" I'm like, "You were fine. That's what you're supposed to do." But he doesn't like to do that because he's good at like the bump and feed. I always thought when Kane was ECW champion, I was there. If they could have put him in a program with Knox, I think it would have been so good.
Who were some of the guys you traveled with?
I traveled with like Jimmy Yang and Spanky when he came over to SmackDown ECW. Evan Bourne when he came around, Hornswoggle, guys like that. And
Go ahead.
when I first went there, when I first got there for the first couple months, they pay for your stuff. They put you up to get you acclimated to the travel and everything. And I mean, I would always offer to the boys, hey, if anyone needs a room to stay in or anyone needs a ride, I got you. So that's how me and Jimmy and me and some of the other guys started to travel together.
Cool. Was there any resentment from the other guys in the locker room that maybe you didn't go to Florida or anything, or?
Not from the guys in the locker room, but I always heard that there was resentment from like in the actual developmental. Like when I first got called up, that people were hot about it, like because some of those guys have been there for years and just never got the shot. And here I am off the streets, and they're throwing me on TV every week. And I understand, but still, it's like I can't do anything about this. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't switch you into my place. I don't know what to tell you.
Then you did a big heel turn with Dreamer at the Bash.
Yeah, and I still don't like it. To this day, I don't like it.
Who's that? Was that the Office's idea? Or?
Great American Bash was one of those pay-per-views that everybody had to go to. It was one of those, everybody comes to Great American Bash for like a meeting or something. So everybody was there. I didn't think I was going to get used, but I knew Tommy was on. I asked earlier in the day if I was coming out with Tommy. They're like, no, I don't think so. And then around like 4 or 5 o'clock, they come to me, they're like, oh, you're coming out with Tommy tonight. I said, okay. So come to ringside and practice the finish with us. I said, cool. So we get there, and they're walking me through it, and they're like, then Tommy will go like this, and then you'll climb up and do it with him, and then you pull him down. I was like, wait, what? I just got the contract not too long ago in, storyline purposes, and you're already going to turn me heel. Why? And it's like, I didn't think, with the size of the guys they have there, I knew I wouldn't be an effective heel. I mean, I could be like an effective heel character, but as a wrestler, I couldn't be an effective heel wrestler because I couldn't do much to them. I mean, creatively, I can find ways to do things to them, but it would only last so long. I could only do so much of it. So I was not thrilled about having to do the heel turn. I thought it was just kind of rushed to get a finish to the match. I felt it was just kind of came up with on the fly. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to use this. I'm going to take advantage of this. I will get new gear. I'll cut my hair. I'll look different. I'm a heel now. I'm a different character. And they're like, no, just be the same. But now you're a heel. I was like, oh. Okay. And that kind of crushed me down a little bit.
As far as working with Tommy, you also were able to work the Extreme Rules match with him. Memories of that? That
was my last match with ECW. I thought it went really well, and I had a lot of fun with it. I took a disgusting DDT on a road sign, and my body contorted in a really weird way. It's fun to watch, but Tommy was really good about having me get stuff in and trying to get me, over as that heel character. And I had no idea I was on my way out. no inkling whatsoever because I got released 3 days after that match.
Why do you think that was the case?
I don't know. I was on TV for 8 straight months, and they told me, creatively, we have nothing for you. 8 straight months, and then 3 days later, you creatively have nothing for me? I understand. They lost some money. They had to get rid of people. I just don't like that the reason was,
Right.
Creatively, we have nothing for you. Creatively, you must have had something for me, because for the last 8 months, I've been on TV. So I think that's just the reason they give everybody. I think they just lost money in, whatever quarter that was. Had to get rid of a bunch of people. Got rid of 20-something guys. I mean, if somebody's got to go, I guess it's got to be me. I'm, low guy on the totem pole.
Do you think you'll be brought back in the future? Or?
I mean, I'm 22 years old. When I was with WWE, I was the youngest guy youngest male talent on the active roster. The only person younger than me was Khali. But I was, 21 years old. I just turned 22. I got nothing but time, and it was a great experience, great learning experience for me. And I think I took a lot out of it, and a lot that I think I still have a lot to offer them. There's still, Colin Delaney, the character is not dead.
What was Khali like outside the ring?
Oh, she was great. A lot of fun to go out with. I was out for her 21st birthday. Very exciting moment. But no, she's a great girl. We still text back and forth now and again. She's my girlfriend. In my phone, I can show it to you right now. She's labeled girlfriend. She knows it. She's my girlfriend.
We got a fight over though.
All right. Well, you know what?
It's on.
Taking down many a man. We used to have this thing in the locker room since I was her boyfriend. Whenever a guy would go up and talk to her, no matter how big the guy, I would grab him, turn him around, and say, "Hey, listen, pal, it's my girlfriend you're talking to." And one time, I think she's talking to Mark Henry, and I just grab Mark and I say, "Hey, listen," and he just goes, "Don't do it." And I was like, "I'm gonna go over there now."
How'd you get along with CM Punk? What are your thoughts on him outside the ring?
I got along with Punk really great. I mean, one thing is everybody has when I met CM Punk story. And it's always a bad story. Everybody's first impression of CM Punk is bad, and they have a funny story to go along with it. I'm kind of upset that my first memories of CM Punk are good memories, because I want one of those CM Punk stories. Right. But I don't have one. Everybody has one. I think I'm the only one who doesn't. But no, I love Punk, and I was so happy when he won the world title. I thought, he proved, like I proved that, you don't got to be 6'5", 280 pounds. He proved that you don't have to be the stereotypical main event mold to be on top.
What was your favorite town to go to?
Favorite town to go to?
Well, you went over to England, so that was probably cool.
London was really cool. I flew in, and they put me on the show last second. I wasn't on the tour. I was just on TV. So I flew in last minute, and they didn't have my working papers and all that set, so I got hassled at the border. Hassled. I was sitting down in the chair, waiting there forever, and someone tapped me on my shoulder and say, "Colin, is everything all right?" It was Shawn Michaels. And, I've been watching Shawn Michaels since I was knee-high. He's been wrestling longer than I've been alive. So, I always looked up to Shawn Michaels. And so he's like, I just told him what happened. He's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. So he goes to the border, talks to people. They're getting autographs from him while he's going through the border. I wish they were getting autographs from me and not making me sit. But, yeah, he got the border people to let me through. And then I had, an hour-and-a-half long car ride, just me and him, to the hotel, where we get in the car and he's like, "How long is this car gonna be?" And the lady was like, "About an hour and a half, 2 hours." He's like, "Oh, Colin, we got lots to talk about." So he's like, "Tell me the Colin Delaney story." I was like, "Well, I don't know what we're gonna do for the other hour and 28 minutes, but we'll go over the Shawn Michaels story after." But no, it was really cool. He's such a cool, down-to-earth guy, and it was just me and him shooting the shit for an hour and a half, seeing all the sights in London. Just random driver,
right.
Picked us up at the airport.
Cool, okay.
And it was funny because the driver had the sign that said Colin Delaney and Shawn Michaels. I was like, yeah,
that's awesome.
All right.
Wow. What was your, standout moment in WWE that you're most fond of?
I don't know. I had a lot of great times there. I mean, in and out of the ring, those guys were they're like family for 8 months. You see them more than you see your family for 8 months, and then to not have them around really kind of stinks. But I had a lot of really fun ones. I mean, I wrestled the main event of ECW a couple times. Main event of SmackDown once. I hold a win over Edge. Let me say that one too. Colin Delaney holds a win over Edge. It may have been Batista who got the pin on like Kurt Hawkins, but I was on his team, and Edge was on the other team. I hold a win over Edge. Don't you forget it, Edge.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.